Tecate Light is the fastest growing light beer in the United States. While the original Tecate has been on the market since 1943, Tecate Light did not come out until 1992. Brewed out of Tecate, Mexico, a town just east of Tijuana, is this light beer worth checking out? Find out now on Two Dudes Reviews.
What up, guys? Yeah, today we've got Tecate Light, and I have to admit, I have not had a light beer in a very long time. And I don't think I've ever had Tecate Light, so we shall see how it tastes. But I believe this is a twist off, but pop it off anyways. Let's get this thing going. Now, unlike other light Mexican beers, it does come in the brown bottle. Actually, unlike a lot of just light beers, it comes in a dark bottle. So, that's already a plus for me. I mean, just going with light. You might be making a light beer, but you don't have to make a light, skunky beer. So, alright. Let's get into the smell. It is a very bright aroma. It's, you get it right away. It has there's definitely a sweetness to it. It's almost like a lemony peach aroma kind of thing going on. You know, and almost kind of like a remember, like when you had family dinner or whatever, and you couldn't have the wine because you were too young, but you got stuck with like the sparkling juice or whatever. It has a bit of that kind of aroma going on. That might die out after the carbonation, but the aroma is actually pretty decent. I'm going to recommend it on the aroma. Just a second. The dog's... Alright, it's like the dog's trying to find anything that makes noise when I do this. But, alright, now for the smell. Now for the taste. Actually, that's not terrible. It has a bit of that, definitely that fruity note to it. It's there is a bit of like a white grape peachy kind of thing going on. Not heavy, but it's definitely there. It has a little more flavor than what just like I think a normal light beer has, which is surprising. And a little bit of a little crispness. It's not it lingers a little bit, but it's not I think it has a lot of similarities to a cider almost. It doesn't have it's not super weedy, or you don't get a lot of hops or barley. You don't really get much of that. It's almost like it has some notes of a cider to it. So I feel like if you're kind of a cider drinker but you want a light beer, you might dig this. Yeah, but there's not the flavor doesn't last on your tongue that long. You know, it's a light beer. It doesn't linger though at all. You get kind of that citrusy, fruity grape thing going on, and then it's gone, and that's pretty much it. So if you don't like a lingering taste in your beer, again, this is it. And honestly, I'm gonna recommend it. If you're looking for a light beer, check it out. I was very surprised, and honestly, it might be because of the dark brown glass instead of the clear glass. You're not skunking it up while it's sitting around. So I'll recommend it on the taste. Now, next is value for price, and pretty much just about any larger produced Mexican beer, I'm going to give it the thumbs up on because it's imported, but it doesn't come with a giant import price. You're going to get this probably for just a little bit more than, say, a Coors, Budweiser, or something like that. but I think this tastes better than a Coors Light, Bud Light, Miller Light. I think this is probably one of the better tasting light beers, mass-produced light beers that I've had. So I'm going to recommend it on the price. Now, next is distinction. How distinct is it? Now, I have to compare this just to other light beers. I'm not going to compare it to other Mexican beers or other just regular beers in general. I feel like light beer has to be only compared to other light beers. And a lot of the other light beers, you get kind of that wet, bready aroma taste to it. This has a lot. I mean, I like the different take on this. It's got more of a again the ciderish kind of thing going on. And now you might not like that at all. I think it's a nice little take to it. For somebody that doesn't, I generally never drink light beers. But I think in terms of distinction, it is different from your general light beer, general mass-produced light beer. So I'm going to recommend it on that as well. Now, next category is drinkability. And, well, here's the thing. You shouldn't have problem drinking a good amount of light beers. I mean, that's kind of what they're there for. The alcohol content is usually lower. There's less calories. You should be able to drink more of them. If you can't, you should probably try a different light beer. But honestly, I don't think I'd have a problem with this. It's easy to drink. I mean, again, it's light. It doesn't have massive flavor. It's not staying around too long. It's pretty much, if you're going to be watching a couple games on a weekend and you just don't want to get super drunk real fast, or, drink a ton of calories real fast, and you just want a light beer for just a day drink, I think this is pretty legit. I'm going to recommend it for drinkability as well. And now, last category is, would I buy it again? That's almost a trick question, because I would almost never buy a light beer ever again. So right off the bat, this is kind of, if I'm with somebody who wants a light beer, I would honestly probably get this over most of the other ones. That's pretty much the only reason I'd actually have a light beer around the house. So that's I'm gonna give it a half on that, just because I almost would never buy a light beer. But if I was in a particular situation where I had to, I would go for this for sure. I think this is one of the better light beers I've ever had. So 5.5 out of 6. That's pretty much as good as I can give a light beer, generally speaking. But yeah, I say give it a whirl. If you're looking for a light beer that tastes a little different, if you don't want that kind of like wet bread thing going on that you get from a lot of light beers, check this out. Especially if you like the citrus and cider kind of taste to it, check it out as well. I think you'd dig it. But that is a review of Tecate Light. I was very, very surprised with this. I have to admit, I was not expecting it to be this decent, but it really was. So, good at you, Tecate. But yeah, that is my review. If you've had Tecate Light before, and let me know what you think in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I got more stuff coming up, so I'd love to have you follow me. And if you want more, I got the podcast at 2 Dudes in a Six Pack. We got a couple new episodes up right now. And if you want a sweet, awesome 2 Dudes in a Six Pack official Admiral Akbar SR Tap t-shirt, I got a link at the bottom. You can check it out. And that is about it. So for now, for me and for Tecate Light, take it easy.